The first time Emily adjusted the camera strap around her neck, she knew she didn't belong. Her cousin, Rachel, the real photographer, was running a fever and begged Emily to cover the wedding booth for her. Emily, a quiet middle school teacher with zero professional photography experience, wanted to say no. But Rachel's panicked voice over the phone had been enough. "You just have to smile, snap pictures, and hand people their prints," Rachel had pleaded. Emily sighed, tucked her hair into a bun, and whispered to herself, "How hard can it be?" What she didn't know was that this wedding wasn't just any wedding. It was a high society event in a sprawling estate, the kind where the guests wore designer suits and champagne never stopped flowing. And among the guests was a man who had no intention of being there, Daniel Carter, a young CEO who had built his company from nothing and lost his wife far too soon. He arrived only because his 7-year-old daughter begged to see the princess bride. Emily noticed him instantly, not because of his tailored suit, but because of the little girl clinging shyly to his hand. Her curls bounced with every step, her eyes curious yet cautious. The girl tugged on her father's sleeve. "Daddy, can we get a picture? Please." Daniel hesitated, distracted by the endless chatter of business acquaintances, until Emily crouched down to the little girl's level and smiled. "Of course," Emily said softly. "Come on, sweetheart. Let's make this fun." The girl giggled, and for the first time that evening, Daniel's stern expression softened. Emily didn't pose them stiffly. Instead, she asked the little girl to tell her dad a secret. As the child leaned in and whispered something silly, Daniel laughed, really laughed, and the camera caught it. A moment raw and unguarded. Emily handed the print to the girl, who squealed, "Daddy, look. You're smiling." Daniel stared at the picture longer than necessary, his throat tight. When was the last time she'd looked this happy? When was the last time I had? What struck him most wasn't the photo, it was the woman behind the lens. She wasn't polished, wasn't rehearsed, but she saw people. She saw them. Later in the evening, when the booth slowed down, Daniel returned. He cleared his throat. "You're not the usual photographer, are you?" Emily froze. She'd been caught. No. I'm just helping out." "Funny," Daniel said, studying her. "Because I've been to 100 events like this, and I've never seen pictures that felt this real." Emily brushed it off, embarrassed. "Honestly, I'm just trying not to break the equipment." But before she could retreat, his daughter appeared again, clutching the photo tightly. "She made us look happy, Daddy." Emily's chest tightened. She hadn't realized until then how much that picture meant. Not just to the little girl, but to the father who had been carrying his grief like a second skin. The evening ended. Emily packed up quickly, eager to disappear before anyone asked more questions. It was supposed to be one night of helping, nothing more. But destiny had other plans. A week later, Rachel called in shock. "Emily, you won't believe this. The CEO from that wedding? He tracked me down. He wants to hire me exclusively for his company's events. Said it was because of you." Emily almost dropped her phone. "Me? That's impossible." "No, listen. He said the photos weren't just pictures, they were memories. Alive." His exact words. Emily's heart raced. She wasn't a professional. She wasn't glamorous or extraordinary. She was just someone who tried to make a little girl smile. Months later, she crossed paths with Daniel again, this time intentionally. And when his daughter ran to Emily with open arms, Daniel knew it wasn't coincidence. Sometimes love doesn't arrive in grand gestures or perfect plans. Sometimes it slips in quietly, through a borrowed camera, a child's laugh, and the kindness of someone who cared when they didn't have to. And Emily realized something too: acts of kindness, no matter how small, have a way of rewriting lives. Because on the night she replaced her cousin at a wedding booth, she wasn't just taking photos. She was giving a grieving family back their smiles.